Hey everyone, welcome to the first descendant video. I have an updated build for Freyna to pretty much farm all the content in the game aside from Colossi, and we're using the Fallen Hope for our weapon of choice. This is pretty much the best gun to use for Freyna just because of how much symmetry it has. When using poison and ground out skills, it grants toxic discharge that eventually grants perdition, which overall it pretty much is a damage multiplier that stacks, and if you do kill a target, it just spreads the poison all around. So best for Freyna. The mod for the weapon itself, we're going with a multi-damage build. Take a screenshot if you want to go for it. Now the second weapon that I do always carry my Freyna with is the Python, just because of how much bullets that you can transfer over to a unique weapon. All of that transferred from with the mods that you do have and the cores on the weapon, so please make sure you just add in the extended mags and fire rate mods on it. Sharpest shot always makes the fire rate goes crazy. Aside from that, the other mods are not really necessary. For Freyna's actual build, we are going with a Contagion build for the transcendent module, so you can use this build to just clear out every single world content except for the Colossi, so that's dungeons and even the challenge mode for Erosion. That is because Contagion does grant room 0 trauma, which is the strongest out of all of the additional debuff that you can get with Freyna, and easily spread. So for dungeons that have really big mobs, they could just all die, and then for like void erosions, it does keep it in a small space where everything just spawns and dies. For the trigger module, we'll go with Infected Weapon, which is self-explanatory. That is the best for ground outs and toxic for Freyna. This build does have one free slot that you can use, and I did go with an Ancestor module for that slot. If you don't have an Ancestor module, you could use another mod that grants damage, like I think it's like Venom Synthesis. You can change the transcendent module to Toxic Simulation, that gives you some additional armor if you do struggle with survivability, and it also grants the additional armor to your allies. But from what I've seen is if they were going to die, they're just gonna die without the additional. It's not much of a difference, so I'd still would rather just go with Contagion. The room 0 trauma is stronger than the despair that you do get, or nightmare you do get from using your fourth ability. One other thing that I also noticed with Toxic Simulation is that it says it has a chance to grant despair and room 0 trauma versus always granting it if you're using Contagion. So that's another thing to keep in mind. When I was testing, it did take a while longer to just clear out some of the mobs that I thought would just disappear. For the Reactor, we are going with a Toxic Skill Power Boost Reactor and Skill Cost. You can also use skill cooldown for the Reactor. It should be really good. And for the components, we are going with the Plague component set, very self-explanatory. For the Arche Tuning, we are going with the right side of the tree for skill power, and we're using the portrait zone for your mutant cell. So this does the toxic resistance decrease or debuff for the mobs. It kind of gives that corrosive type feeling, so like you have venom injection, so you do get a lot more damage out of your room 0 trauma for the longer the mobs are up. Inversion Reinforcement, we are going for Neural Focus just to increase our max MP since we're spamming our ability. Strike Point for our second one, just because when landing a multi-hit, we want to increase our weak point damage since our Fallen Hope is multi-hit based, and we are using the Recovery mod for HP just for survivability since we are using this build for all content. Some of them may be a little bit harder. That pretty much covers the entire build for Freyna, just for mobbing. She's in a really good place right now. I do like that you can have one build that you can use for everything, so you don't have to like switch it around. It's always good. And I do also want to mention that for the dog that you should be using, the one that does the healing, just to also help survivability for any content that might be a little bit harder, like the new dungeons. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you found something here useful. Liking and subscribing does always help the channel. And without further ado, I'm just gonna play some Inversion Reinforcement challenge mode. Take care everyone, see you in the next one.
You dare mess with me? reload. Melt away. This is great. You can't touch me. Damn it. No dare mess with me.